What's up, Lionel racing fans? David Land here, and I'm bringing you the very first Lionel Racing Gold Series, Action Gold Series, whatever you want to call them, review on my channel. You all know me as the Spin Master guy, unless of course you're new here, in which case be sure to hit that subscribe button because I do a lot of NASCAR and racing related content. You'll probably enjoy it. But yeah, this is my first kind of toe-in-the-water experimental Lionel Racing review debut. Yeah, I'm rhyming. It's awesome. But yeah, if you enjoy this video or want me to do more Lionel racing reviews, be sure to hit that like button. It lets me know how you guys are feeling about this content. So, without any further ado, let's introduce what I'm going to do with this review. Like I said, it's a toe-in-the-water thing. I'm not really sure if I'm going to keep doing these or how I'm going to do them, but I've got 3 diecast cars here today, 1/64 scale, that, first of all, either Spin Master didn't produce, hasn't produced, or put in a stupid 5-pack that I don't want to pay $20 for 3 cars that I already have. This, as you saw from the title of the video, is called Hendrick Motorsports Past, Present, and Future. I thought this was an interesting way of doing it. It just kind of worked out that way because I bought a bunch of diecasts online from Lionel Racing for my Spin Master and Lionel comparison video, which isn't out yet, but it will be in the next few weeks. So this is a little teaser to get going for that. So 3 cars here, the past, present, and future of Hendrick Motorsports. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you like the content. Here we go. A brave new world. You're watching David Land on YouTube. Those of you in NASCAR land know that this weekend is the Brickyard 400. And those of you who are Jeff Gordon fans or just paid any attention to the sport this year know it's his last year, and therefore it's his last Brickyard 400. So Lionel released this car right here. It's Jeff Gordon's first 1994 inaugural Brickyard 400 winner. And that's the first car we're going to take a look at. This is the car that made Jeff Gordon a household name, not only in NASCAR, not only in racing, but probably in sports. The first Brickyard 400, I don't know if you guys realize this, some of you younger people, but the Brickyard 400 was one of the biggest races, not only of the year, but especially in 1994 when this race started. It was absolutely massive. Why? Well, there was only one race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway from 1911 to 1993. That race was the Indianapolis 500. So when the Brickyard 400 showed up, and it was unprecedented, and it was massive. NASCAR was just coming into its own as a nationally recognized sport, so it just kind of happened at the right place at the right time, and Jeff Gordon was the huge beneficiary of that, winning that race. And this diecast, I have to say, is a really good representation, especially in the 1/64 scale. I do have a couple complaints about it that I will get to. And you guys might be wondering why I'm not showing the boxes all that much. I'll save some of that for my Lionel versus Spin Master review, but I'll just give you a little taste right now. I don't really like the boxes of Lionel. But that's not here nor there. Let's zoom out a little bit so I can get a good take a good look at this car. Of course, it is a raced version, so you do get the contact mark here. I think he made contact, I want to say, with the 28 car of Ernie Irvan. You can see the decals, all retro and all awesome. Definitely like that old Valvoline logo. DuPont Automotive Finishes. This is definitely one of my favorite paint schemes, but I have to say, doesn't this decal look a little like this sticker that they probably used in the factory? Doesn't it look a little low to you? I think it's a little low, because if you look on that side, it looks perfect, and on this side, not so much. Not so much, but it looks like you got a little more rubber buildup there. That's a very nice feature. You've got the orange bumper. You can't really call it a splitter on these cars because I don't think they had splitters. But there's the Rainbow Warrior scheme. I absolutely adore this car. And here's the second complaint I have. Right here, if you look at any photos from that race, there was a sponsor here. That sponsor was Snickers. But for some reason, they couldn't get the license or something. And Snickers did not appear. I think there was a Snickers logo somewhere around here too. So you can see a white base. It's on the EL. Some people call it a mold, but I'm not really sure that's quite the correct term because there are more cars that come like Fords and Chevys. They're all different molds, but they have the EL printing. So EL actually, I think, means the factory it comes out of. So I don't know why people don't say it comes out of the EL factory, it comes out of the PTC factory, or it comes out of the WLS factory. But a really nice diecast. Definitely one that's important for Jeff Gordon fans to pick up. And honestly, this is the kind of stuff I really like to buy. The classic, historic race cars. So let's go on to a more modern, or should I say the present, of Hendrick Motorsports. Now, I say all that about the Brickyard 400 because this car right here is very important to me. And why do you ask that, you say? Well, some of you may know, and some of you may not know, that Jeff Gordon, as of right now, is my favorite driver in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. And my first, this is going to sound really strange, but my very first NASCAR race in person was last year at the Brickyard 400. You can check out that video right here. But that's important because this paint scheme, I'm not sure if it's this exact paint scheme, but it sure does look like the car I saw win. They actually call it the Axalta Finish Master car, but this car won my very first NASCAR race, and my favorite driver won. It was special, so let's take a look at this car in closer detail. So like I said before, this is a special and important car to me. The car, or at least similar to the paint scheme that Jeff Gordon ran and won with at the 2014 Brickyard 400. Such a special car for me, and I can't wait to show it off for you guys. So let's bring it out just a little bit, and I'll show off the paint scheme. I'll also talk a little bit about the mold. I actually kind of like this, especially the Chevys. As you can see, the decals more or less are perfect on the front. This is definitely a problem that Lionel seemed to have, this printing around the front bumper. Axalta. And this is, I think, where it gets the Finish Master logo. So just a little tiny logo there. Drive to End Hunger, Finish Master on the back. And printing pretty good there too. Nothing, no defects or anything. I do kind of like the Lionel wheels. They are a lot skinnier than what I'm used to from Spin Master. This is also on the EL mold. A really easy way to tell the difference between an EL, PTC, and WLS mold is the tires. If they have these tires that look nice and don't look stupid, that's the EL mold. So there you go. Yeah, pretty much perfect printing. Little bit of the Spin Master curve there, but not too bad. Not quite as bad as Spin Master does. But and this is, of course, the other thing that you get over Spin Master. Couple things here. I'm starting this review. I'm starting to talk about it, and I don't want to do that. But you do get the printed color, full color Chevy logos. Of course, they are a little lopsided on this, but that's kind of nitpicking. You also do get a black interior and a kind of white-ish, or kind of, I guess, tan plastic on the bottom for the chassis, which is a neat touch, and it gives it some realism, even though with the dark interior on a dark car you can't really tell any of the detail, but of course it is more realistic. So I'm really happy to bring this car, the Axalta 24. This is the present of Hendrick Motorsports. Now let's look towards the future. And the third and final car in today's review is the future of Hendrick Motorsports. Chase Elliott's number 25. This car ran at Martinsville. It was his first start, and it looks like it may be the start to a very promising Sprint Cup career. Of course, he will take over the 24 next season. So Chase Elliott, a very important diecast to have, and I'm really glad I picked this one up. So let's take a look at it in closer detail. What sort of things will we say about Chase Elliott when his 20-year anniversary of his first win will come around? That hasn't happened quite yet, and it probably will not happen in this 25 car, but I'm still really happy to get it. The first start, NAPA Auto Parts 25 for Hendrick Motorsports. This is the future of NASCAR racing and the future of Hendrick Motorsports for years to come. I've always been a fan of NAPA schemes, and the 25 is a very historic number for Hendrick Motorsports. And let's take a look at the front grille. And then I did notice this. Little bit of, I'm not really sure what's going on here. That looks a little lopsided to me, this decal here. You do get a red splitter, which is interesting. On the Gordon, you got a yellow one. So let's take a look at this side of the car. I do kind of like this molding they did for the Chevrolet. It's very realistic. I guess most of the Lionels I had seen pictures of were from the other two molds, and they are. I actually own a few, so I'm not going to say too much because I want you guys to watch the other review, but. This is definitely a far superior and more realistic mold. NAPA Know-How, the Rookie Stripes SS, really great looking piece. And for both of these, the modern Hendrick cars, they have a little bit of sparkle in their paint. So they definitely pop when you look at them. But I love the NAPA schemes. This one isn't quite as great as some of like the Truex schemes they did on the Gen 6 body. I definitely prefer the silver wheels with the NAPA cars, but this is really neat. I really like this car, and I'm really glad to have picked it up, and this is probably going to be one that people are going to desire later on down the line. Chase Elliott, the name's a little wonky, but that's a decal that most diecast producers can never get right. So I'm not going to fault Lionel for that. Once again, you've got the EL mold, and you've got the white base, plastic insides, or the black plastic insides, a white base. Really neat. I'm really happy to pick this car up, and I'd like to know what you guys think. Are you guys planning to pick any of these up? Have you picked any of them up? And what do you think of my thoughts? So let's go in for a close-up, and I'll give some final thoughts on the past, present, and future of Hendrick Motorsports. So that was my first Lionel Racing review. Did you guys enjoy? I hope you did. I tried to present this in a different way than kind of the typical diecast review, because I'm sure most of you have seen reviews of each of these cars before. Oops. I'm sure you guys have seen multiple reviews of these cars before, but I tried to present it in a different and creative way, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. And if you did, leave a like, because that helps me kind of determine whether it's worth it to keep doing these and whether you guys are liking it or not. But I certainly enjoyed doing this review, and I certainly enjoyed buying these. I'm a lot more impressed, especially with these EL mold Lionel diecasts. I definitely have a appreciation for that, and I probably will be buying more depending on which mold they use and whether I like the paint scheme and driver. So it's really interesting to take a look at these three cars and think about the history, the past, the stuff that I watched as a kid, the present, which we're all living in now, and the future. It's always an interesting discussion, so let me know which of these cars you've either picked up or which cars you're looking forward to getting, and look out for that Spin Master and Lionel comparison video coming soon. And whenever Wave 3 of NASCAR Authentics comes out, I will be doing a full review of that. Be sure to check my social media. Whenever they come out, you will know that I have them, and I'm also looking for those memorable moments 2-packs, so don't worry about that. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love your support, I love your subscriptions, and I love your viewership. And we will see you on the next video. That will be on Wednesday, and that will be NASCAR 15 from Richmond. So we'll see you then.